Winter 2025 into 2026 is shaping up to be one of the more unpredictable seasons in recent memory. Forecasters are warning of deeper cold snaps, heavier snowfall, and rapid swings in weather patterns across much of the country. One week brings a warm stretch, and the next brings a full blizzard. And when the weather turns chaotic like that, grocery prices follow. Many people over 50 have already noticed it plainly. What used to cost $50 at the store now costs close to $100. A single major storm can shut down supermarkets for days, freeze transportation routes, and leave shelves bare within hours. Those who wait until the last minute are always the ones who feel it hardest. So here are 15 of the most essential grocery items to stock up on before next month, chosen specifically to help you avoid shortages, dodge price spikes, and always have safe, nourishing food on hand, no matter what winter throws your way. Starting with the 15th item on the list, and it may surprise you with how underestimated it tends to be. Rice is quietly one of the most powerful survival foods ever put in a grocery store. Not because it is trendy or exciting, but because it is a true foundation during any difficult stretch. Whether that is a blizzard, a supply chain breakdown, or a wave of food inflation. Rice can last 25 to 30 years when stored properly, meaning a bag you buy today could still be perfectly edible decades from now. 1 kilogram of rice can turn an empty kitchen into a functioning one. A single cup can feed a whole family when things get tight. And when panic buying hits and shelves start emptying, rice is almost always the first thing to vanish. For older adults especially, it checks every box. Easy to digest, simple to cook, requires nothing more than water and a little heat. Pair it with beans, canned meat, canned vegetables, or a simple broth, and you have a complete meal. When inflation returns or cold weather tightens supply, rice prices climb fast. Stock up now before that happens. The 14th item is canned beans, and they deserve far more respect than most people give them. If rice is the foundation of a solid emergency pantry, canned beans are the nutritional core. They are one of the most stable sources of protein, fiber, and calories available in any grocery store. No soaking required, no long cooking times. Open the can, heat for a few minutes, and you have a complete meal. For people over 50, this matters enormously. Canned beans are gentle on digestion, rich in nutrients, and incredibly convenient on days when the power is out, or the weather makes you want to do as little as possible. They also last between 2 and 5 years on the shelf without losing quality. When meat prices spike and supply chains wobble, canned beans become one of the most valuable things in your pantry. Use them in soups, chili, rice dishes, pasta, or eat them straight in a pinch. They are also consistently one of the first items to disappear when people start panic buying, so getting them early is essential. 13th on the list is dry beans, which are the longer-term version of the same idea. When stored properly in sealed bags with oxygen absorbers, dry beans can last up to 30 years. Buy them once and they can see you through decades of unpredictable winters. Beyond their durability, dry beans are a rich source of protein, fiber, iron, and magnesium, all of which become especially important for older adults when the body loses heat more easily in cold weather. A bag that costs just a few dollars can become a large pot of soup, chili, or stew, substantial enough to feed an entire household. Some people avoid dry beans because they assume the soaking and cooking time is too much effort, but in reality it is quite simple. Soak overnight, simmer the next day, season lightly, and you have a deeply nourishing meal. When bad weather empties grocery stores, dry beans are among the quietest but most complete solutions sitting in your pantry. The 12th item is canned meat, and it earns its place as the last line of protein defense when fresh options disappear. In bad winters, fresh meat is often the very first category to vanish from store shelves. Whether because transportation has stalled, prices have jumped, or simply because everyone is grabbing what they can. Canned chicken, tuna, salmon, and beef do not need refrigeration, do not spoil during a power outage, and can be turned into a full meal with very little effort. For adults over 50, maintaining adequate protein intake is critical for muscle, energy, and immune function, especially during cold months when the body is working harder just to stay warm. A can of meat during a stretch when you cannot safely drive on icy roads is not just convenient, it is genuinely reassuring. Canned meat consistently sells out quickly in winter, so stocking it before the season deepens is a smart move. 11th is dry pasta, which is one of the simplest and most resilient foods for stretching a sparse pantry into real filling meals. All it takes is boiling water. No fresh ingredients required. No complex technique. No refrigeration. During power disruptions or snowstorms, pasta becomes the quiet backbone of the meal plan. It pairs with almost anything. A can of tomatoes, a scoop of canned meat, some canned vegetables, and in minutes you have something warm and satisfying. For older adults, pasta is easy on the stomach, keeps energy levels steady, and helps extend the life of every other item in your pantry by making smaller amounts go further. It is also reliably one of the first cleared off shelves when people start stocking up in a rush. 10th is oats, which are one of the most underrated items in long-term food storage. They provide slow, steady energy that helps people avoid the fatigue that cold weather brings on more quickly than most people realize. Stored in airtight containers rather than their original paper packaging, oats can last for years without losing nutrition. All you need to turn them into a meal is boiling water. A hot bowl of oatmeal during a power outage or a stretch of frozen roads is genuinely stabilizing, both physically and emotionally. Oats also contain beta-glucan, a natural compound to support heart health by helping reduce cholesterol, which is particularly relevant for older adults managing cardiovascular wellness through the winter. 9th is lentils, which offer something rare among pantry staples. They are high in protein and fiber, and they cook in a fraction of the time it takes to prepare dry beans. No soaking required. Just rinse them. Simmer for 20 minutes or so. Add salt or seasoning, and you have a warm, creamy, nutrient-dense meal. When energy is low, fuel is limited, or you simply need something quick and restorative, lentils are one of the best answers in your pantry. Store them in airtight containers away from light and moisture to keep them at their best. During times when meat becomes scarce or unaffordable, lentils fill the protein gap reliably and affordably. 8th on the list is canned vegetables, which serve a specific and critical purpose, protecting you from vitamin deficiency during the stretches when fresh produce simply cannot reach you. Snowstorms, transportation freezes, supply disruptions days without access to fresh vegetables. Canned versions, particularly low sodium varieties without added sugar or syrup, retain up to 80 to 90% of the nutrients found in fresh produce, including vitamins K and fiber and essential minerals. For older adults whose immune systems are more sensitive to nutritional gaps, having canned green beans, carrots, and peas on hand is not just convenient, it is genuinely protective. 7th is canned fruit, which plays a similar nutritional role, but often gets dismissed as a luxury rather than a necessity. In winter, fresh fruit disappears from shelves faster than almost any other category. For people over 50, even a few days without vitamin C and A can lead to fatigue and weakened immunity. Canned peaches, pears, pineapple, and mixed fruit, particularly varieties packed in juice rather than heavy syrup, provide a lasting source of those vitamins throughout the cold season. On days when your household is running on pantry staples alone, a can of fruit can genuinely lift the mood and restore a sense of normalcy to a meal. 6th is canned soup, which is in a category of its own because it is already a complete meal in a can. Protein, vegetables, broth, and seasoning all combined. Ready in minutes with nothing more than a pot and a heat source. When you are tired, when the cold has worn you down, or when your pantry is running low and you need something warm fast, canned soup is the most immediate answer available. Stocking a variety chicken noodle, vegetable, tomato, beef stew helps prevent the monotony that sets in during long stretches of difficult weather. And ensures you're getting a range of nutrients without having to cook from scratch. 5th is peanut butter, which is one of the most calorie-dense, shelf-stable, and versatile foods you can keep on hand. A single spoonful delivers protein and healthy fat quickly, helping the body stay warm and energized in cold weather. It requires no refrigeration, no preparation, and pairs with bread, crackers, oatmeal, or can be eaten straight when energy drops suddenly. For people over 50, natural or no sugar added varieties are the better choice for keeping blood sugar and weight stable through the season. Fourth is powdered milk, which becomes indispensable the moment fresh milk disappears from store shelves, which in a bad winter can happen within hours of a storm hitting. It requires no refrigeration, provides calcium, protein, and vitamin D, all critical nutrients for older adults during cold months, provides calcium for drinking, protein, cooking, and vitamin D, mixing into all critical nutrients for older adults during cold months. Large cans of whole or non-fat powdered milk, mixing into oatmeal, offer the best value and longest shelf life for serious stockpiling. Large cans of whole or non-fat powdered milk. Third is instant mashed potatoes and longest shelf life, one of the fastest and most satisfying emergency meals available. Third is instant mashed potatoes. Just add hot water, one of the fastest and most satisfying emergency meals available, and comforting. Just add hot water. Unlike instant noodles, instant potatoes are lower in sodium, filling, and more suitable for people over 50 who need to be mindful of heart health. Instant potatoes are lower in sodium, can be used as a side dish for people over 50 who need to be mindful easily of heart health. Soups or with canned meat, they keep for months. More complete meals on days when cooking feels like too much. And mix easily into soups or with canned meat, which stands apart from everything else on days when cooking feels like too much. It is the only food that genuinely never spoils, which stands apart from everything else on this list because it is the only food that genuinely never spoils. In winter, honey is both food and medicine. In ancient tombs, still perfectly edible, irritated throat, delivers quick energy is both food and supports immunity when cold air weakens the body. And irritated throat, it absorbs more slowly quick energy, sugar, keeping supports immunity when cold air weakens the body. Important for older adults. It absorbs more slowly than refined sugar, keeping energy levels more stable. Simply set the jar in warm water, important for older adults, and it will return to its liquid state. If your honey crystallizes, nothing has been set lost. The jar in warm water. It is still completely safe and will return to its liquid state. And the first item, perhaps the most surprising on the list, it is still completely safe and just as effective. It is not here because it is the most nutritious option. Surprising on the list. It is here because it is a morale keeper. It is not here because it is the most nutritious difficult winter. It is here because it is more than people give it credit for. And during a long, when meals have been rice and beans and soup for days on end, morale matters more. A little bacon changes everything. The fat and protein deliver strong, warming soup for days on end. A little bacon changes everything. Otherwise plain meal. The fat and protein deliver strong, warming, enjoyable. The flavor transforms bacon an otherwise plain no refrigeration. Genuinely has a long shelf life and is ready straight from the can. Canned bacon requires no refrigeration. Low sodium variety shelf life wiser choice for heart from the can. But the principle remains. For people over 50, choosing a low sodium variety is the wiser choice for heart health. It is about maintaining quality of life through difficult stretches. Eating well is not just about survival. These 15 items are not meant to sit forgotten quality of life through difficult stretches. They are a practical, considered winter shield. These 15 items are not meant to sit forgotten on stores close. They are a practical, when prices climb faster than expected. These are the foods that keep your household fed, closed, warm, when prices climb faster than expected. You do not stockpile out of fear. These are the foods that keep your household fed. You do it for peace of mind, warm, for your family, and steady. And because preparation is simply the smarter way to move through an unpredictable season. You do it for peace of mind, for your family,